Hey everyone, it's Kim Russo, the director of AGLCA. This is leg 6 of the Great Loop aboard the Perch. Today we're going from Stuart, Florida to Melbourne, Florida. As you may realize, it was a really brief stop in Stuart. In fact, we got in late in the evening, didn't really get off the boat except to take a few pictures of the sunset and the beautiful bridge there at the end of the marina. We are not doing our Great Loop lifestyle videos on places that we just stay for a short time like that, like one night. So moving on pretty quickly from Stuart, there's really not a whole lot to report on this stretch of the Great Loop. It's a pretty long straight shot, plenty of water, no bridges that had to open for us, fewer no-wake zones, so it was pretty easy to cover a lot of miles. And at this point in time, we are still on a mission to reach Charleston in time for an AGLCA event. So we are doing a lot of miles each day. It's just one of the trade-offs of working while doing the Great Loop, so it seems like a decent trade-off to us. So now we're moving from what's known as Florida's Treasure Coast to the Space Coast. And the Treasure Coast is named as such because of the historical influence of pirates on this area of the coast. And of course, the sunken ships and sunken treasures that go along with that. And the Space Coast is named because of the influence of Kennedy Space Center and the NASA facility right there. So anytime you're coming through that area by boat, you certainly should consider checking the launch schedule because it's really something amazing to see. We were actually contacted shortly after arriving in Melbourne by the harbor host for the area who just was checking in. And if you're not familiar with the harbor host program, these are AGLCA members who volunteer to assist other loopers who are coming through their area. So at a minimum, you can reach out to them and they'll give you some information on local services if you need a doctor or a dentist or a dog groomer, or want some recommendations for local things to see and do. And this harbor host went above and beyond and reached out to us with some recommendations on things to do. So that was much appreciated as we were arriving in Melbourne. Originally, we thought we'd stay here for one night and continue on our mission, but the weather for the next day was not looking favorable for travel. So we decided to take a weather day, and there were storms that came in the next day. They did come in later than were originally forecast, but it was a pretty good thunderstorm with some lightning and even some hail, so we were glad that we had stayed put. But that also backed us up against a trip that Michael had for work. So in the end, we ended up staying in Melbourne for 4 nights. We were at Melbourne Harbor Marina. We had stayed there before, so we were familiar with it. It's a really nice marina, very, very well protected. Depth can be a little shallow in the channel coming into the marina. You definitely want to favor the red markers, but as I said, it's well protected, and Melbourne is really a charming little town with plenty to keep you busy for the time that you may be staying, so we highly recommend it. This is our Nebo log for the day. As you can see, we were underway for 7 hours. We went just under 60 nautical miles at an average speed of 8.3 knots and a max of 9 knots. So it was just a slow, steady, easy day working our way from Stuart on up to Melbourne. We'll be back soon with our next leg, which will take us from Melbourne to Daytona Beach was our next stop. So thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.